think historically my focus has been on social justice and education for all, with a special attention to students who have challenges in being served in post-secondary education. I think we have to learn from what works. So, for example, in CUNY, they put together the ASAP program, the Accelerated Study program for the associate degrees. And they're requiring advising and mentoring along the way and clear pathways to the degree. So there are examples that actually are implementing the advising and counseling and mentorship that students need in much more formal ways. I think community colleges have been maybe, in the majority, less structured around those issues than they need to be. But there's a cost. The ASAP program is more expensive. The good news is that the outcomes are double. I think we need to account for differences within regions and within states. I think the federal government has a really hard time mandating all of this because there are so many loopholes that get people away from, I think, doing what is right for all. So I think we need to be driven by the equity agenda. I don't see that's going to be any easy goal to achieve in this country, given how dysfunctional our political leaders are. So it's very unfortunate, but I think the public just has to start crying out for this. No.
No?
I would like to see us really take a lesson from other countries like Sweden and Australia that say more education after high school is critical for the country's well-being, social and economic prosperity, as well as civic prosperity. So they have found ways to fund over time anyone that wants to go on after high school. And I think we should be far more visionary in the U.S., understanding that students are going to have to continue learning throughout their lifetime, because it's not going to be for most people that one job is going to be your whole career pathway anymore. Oh, there's already a website that's an anti-college promise website. I mean, this is like a fundamental policy discussion in the country. Are we going to have a middle class or not, in my view? And if we are, since more than 75% of students are attending either a community college or a public state university, are we going to help those institutions continue to serve the bulk of students in this country so they can, as we know from the data, live more successful lives, stay out of healthcare, the dramatic healthcare challenges over the long term, be happier, and make more money, and therefore pay more taxes? So, I think we've got the research to show that. I think there are lots of forces at work that would like to keep all of this information hidden from the public, and I think it's a no-brainer when you really expose these data. But, the challenges are formidable. We have a lot of dysfunction at every level of politics in the country. We don't have the best leadership leading us across the board. If you just look at what isn't coming out of Congress, what isn't coming out of our state leadership, and how many loopholes and how much money it's costing all of us to run a political system. So it's really a challenge for us, and I think the good news is we've got models to emulate, and research is critically important to lead the way.